Audi's A8 has never been the top of mind choice for those in the luxury saloon category, which is not really a bad thing considering that kind of car is most readily associated with large cavalcades that travel at ridiculous speeds and try to push you off the highway at any given opportunity. Even so, for those who want to feel like they're part of the powers that be, Audi have released a stretched version of their already large A8.
The A8 L isn't available in South Africa yet, so we travelled all the way to a rather wet Germany to sample this flagship model in Audi's flagship range. Although there is a lot to enjoy from behind the steering wheel, this limousine version is more about those who don't do the driving. The extra 13 centimeters gained in the stretching process are all in the back, and the optional extras make this car one hell of a way to travel. But if your name is Jeeves, don't worry, there's lots for you too.
For a mogul-mobile, it's got everything you'd expect, wrapped up in the best materials this side of a private jet. Now, when you're paying this kind of money, you expect a lot, but even so, the A8 has got a few things that might surprise you, including a little trackpad that recognizes your handwriting.
That's one way of interacting with the MMI system, and admittedly, if you're right-handed, the system is a lot easier to use in a left-hand drive car as opposed to a right-hand drive. Everything in here is sculpted, wrapped in luxury and soft lighting, and bolted together in the way only Audi can bolt together a cabin. The rear seats in our test car were comfortable, but apparently rather low spec, considering you can opt for heated and ventilated fully adjustable rear seats with TV screens and a footrest. And this isn't a boot, it's a warehouse. While this car was designed to keep you and your passengers in the luxury to which you might be accustomed, it's not completely what the A8L is about. Right from its aluminium space frame chassis to its LED lighting, this limousine is packed with the best driving technology Audi has in its shop. And yet, that tech doesn't dominate the car either. No matter where you sit, you get the same impression.
The thing about the A8 is it is just so smooth. The engine and the air suspension and the quattro and the 8-speed gearbox all kind of just melt together to create a really effortless drive. And it's not like we've been driving in ideal conditions either.
With constant rain and even a bit of snow, the elements conspired to unsettle the big car, but the A8 was having none of it. Being out in the countryside during the day meant we didn't get to sample some of this car's other safety features, like night vision and Audi's pre-sense brake system. It's similar to the systems from Volvo and BMW in that it can detect slower or stationary traffic ahead. If there's a danger of a collision, the system will prepare the car by doing things like tightening seatbelts, closing the windows and sunroof, and pre-loading the brakes. As stately as this car looks, all 5.27 meters of it, it's still a great drive. It responds well under all kinds of conditions, even when you're taking advantage of Germany's speed laws. It doesn't mind shifting along with a kind of agility you'd expect from something a lot smaller. Despite all the extra space in the back and the promise of that extra luxury that goes with it, I'd still want to be the one sitting up front. And the most surprising thing about it, this is a 184 kilowatt 3-litre diesel. It's quite a modest motor given the car's status, but I suppose it matches the looks.
It's always been a bit of an understated thing. In fact, if it weren't for a few LED elements and some chrome bits, you'd think it was just a big A4, which is not a bad thing because it's a good-looking car. It's just not very elitist, is it?
If there's anything to detract from the A8, it's that somehow it doesn't convey that sense of power and prestige that the likes of the S-Class and the 7 Series do. It is a very impressive piece of design, no doubt, but its competition all seem to have more impressive plumage. That doesn't necessarily make them better, it just means they get more attention, and they'll continue to hog the limelight even after this Audi is launched locally in May.
Audi's A8 long wheelbase has got something for everybody. Well, maybe not everybody, but certainly people who have got a lot of money to spend on a car, or people who work for someone who's got a lot of money to spend on a car. If you're the someone being driven, it offers a comfortable, hassle-free ride with every luxury conceivable. And if you're the one driving somebody, you certainly won't mind putting in the overtime.
This latest Audi TDI engine is sublime, with a near-perfect balance of power and torque. An 8-speed auto box and quattro drive add further allure. The result is everything you'd expect of a flagship car: top technology, loads of space, and cosseting luxury. However, it looks more like a big A4, and that may well be too understated for some.